Private love, letter my, love I am writing. This because some things need the specific form of a letter need, the deliberate choosing of words that writing demands, need the honesty that comes when you sit with a blank page and the true things you have been carrying and try to bring one to the other. I am writing to you because you deserve the real thing, not the quick message, not the words chosen in haste, but the considered, honest, complete offering of what I actually feel, what I actually know, what I actually want you to understand about what you are to me, about what your presence in my life has changed and produced and made possible. You are loved. I want to start there because it is the most true things deserve to come first, before anything else, before any arrangement of beautiful words into something impressive. Just the simple, honest fact you are loved by me, genuinely, completely, in the daily practiced, real sense, not just felt but chosen every morning in the specific way that real love is chosen, when it is not just feeling but commitment. I notice you, I want to say that because being noticed is not a small thing. I notice the small things, the way you carry yourself on difficult days, the way your face changes when something genuinely moves you, the way you are kind when no one is watching, when kindness costs something and you give it anyway. I notice all of it and I store it carefully in the way you store things that matter to you. I want you to know that what I feel for you is not simple, is not the uncomplicated version of love that requires nothing and costs nothing, but the real kind, the kind that has been tested in small ways and found itself still, present still, real still, the honest description of what exists between us when everything unnecessary is removed. I love you in the full honest weight of those words, not as a phrase, but as the actual lived experience of someone who has chosen you and keeps choosing you and will keep choosing you in the daily, ordinary, beautiful, honest way that real love actually works. I am grateful for you, for the specific fact of you in my life, for what your presence adds to the daily experience of being alive, which is warmth, which is the specific quality of knowing someone genuinely sees you, which is the relief of not having to perform, of being simply yourself and finding that yourself is enough, is more than enough, is what is wanted. I am writing this so you have it, so these words exist somewhere permanent, somewhere you can return to on the days when you need to be reminded of what is true, which is this, which is that you are loved genuinely, completely, without condition, without the requirement that you be anything other than exactly who you are. This letter is yours. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally dial those old digits. Maybe my hands will stop shaking long enough to press call instead of scrolling past again. I rehearse the words each night before sleeping. Hi, it's been a while, I know, but every time morning comes, I lose all courage. Daylight makes doubt louder than midnight ever could. I start believing maybe silence is what's owed. Maybe you've built a life that doesn't need me, a quiet life somewhere that doesn't need my shadow. The thought alone stops my breath every single time I sit with coffee going cold in hand, imagining a version of you happy without me. Part of me hopes that's true for you. Another part still selfishly wishes you waited. Somehow I know that's unfair to wish on someone I left behind without a proper explanation. Given guilt doesn't leave just because years have passed. It just learns to sit quietly in corners waiting for nights like this to remind me I bought a plane ticket once 2 years back, sat with it open on my laptop screen. Flight leaving Friday, returning never. I typed almost, then closed the tab, scared of what I'd find when I landed. Scared you'd already moved on, scared you hadn't, and I'd have to face everything I ran from all those years ago. Running is easier than staying and answering for it. I've built a whole life around avoiding hard things. Success softens the blow of personal failure somehow. At least that's what I kept telling myself. But titles don't call you by the name only. Someone who loved you truly ever would. I miss being called by that name again. Not sir, not Mr. Just that one soft name. Only you ever sighed it the way you did. I've heard it copied since by strangers, trying none of them say it the way you used to say it, like it meant something real, like I mattered beyond what I could offer. That's rare, I've learned now after all these years. People love what you provide, not who you are. You loved who I was before I proved anything. That's the kind of love I threw away chasing things that don't call my name back. At night I think about that difference more as I age. Success is loud but empty. Love was quiet, full. I chose loud, and now I sit in silence, wishing for the quiet fullness I once had. This letter isn't meant to ask you back, it's meant to say I finally understand what I lost isn't replaceable by anything, money or title. I write this not for a reply, but for my own peace, knowing I finally said it. If this reaches you somehow, know I'm sorry, not just for leaving, but for staying silent after, for letting pride outlive the love that mattered, for choosing an ocean over a doorway I once called home without even realizing what home meant. Home was never a place, it was your presence. I traded that for buildings that don't remember me. Every evening the sun sets differently here than it did over your rooftop where we'd sit talking. I still watch sunsets alone, thinking of that rooftop, wondering if you still sit there watching too, or if that rooftop belongs to someone else's memories now. Time doesn't wait for anyone to catch up, it moves whether we're ready or not at all. I was not ready then to choose you over ambition. I'm ready now, but readiness came too late. Maybe that's the cruelest part of growing up. I think understanding what matters only after you've already lost it. I hope your life is full of warmth. I hope Whoever shares your mornings knows your worth. I hope they say your name, thee, weigh it, deserves to be Saeed, soft and certain. If it's me, someday again, I'll be grateful. If it's not, I'll still be grateful. You existed in my life, even briefly, even imperfectly, like this letter ends here for now, not forever. Some love doesn't end, just goes quiet for a while. Mine went quiet years ago. Tonight it speaks again. I found an old photograph today, folded in a book, your handwriting on the back, just a date, nothing else, just numbers marking a day. I forgot. I stared at it longer than I should have, trying to remember what we did that day. Was it ordinary? Was it special? I can't recall anymore. Too many years have blurred the edges. That scares me more than anything else lately. Not losing you, but losing the details of us. The exact sound of your laugh is fading. I try to hear it in my memory. It comes back distorted like a song half remembered. I hate that time does this to people, steals the small things first before the big ones. Soon I'll forget your favorite color, your favorite song, everything that made you specifically you, and not just an idea I carry around like grief. I write these letters partly to preserve you, to keep some version of us alive on paper. Even if memory fails me, words might not. I want future me to have proof this happened, that once I loved someone enough to lose myself, enough to still be writing letters years later, unsent. I think about our last conversation more than anything else these days, replaying it like a film. You asked if I was sure about leaving. I sighed yes, too quickly, too confidently, for someone who didn't actually know what sure even meant. You noted, didn't argue, just looked at me differently than you ever had before. That moment, like you already knew how this story would end. Maybe you did, maybe you saw it clearer than I could, blinded by plans and airports. I wish you'd argued with me that day. Wish you'd said don't go, stay here instead. Maybe I would have listened, maybe I wouldn't have, but at least I'd know you tried to keep me instead. You let me choose my own mistake. That's its own kind of love. I realize now, loving someone enough to let them make their choice, even when it breaks you to watch them leave. I didn't understand that then. I understand it now. You weren't indifferent. You were protecting your own heart by not begging someone who'd already made up his mind. I was too selfish to see that clearly. I saw only my own ambitions, my own future, never once considered what staying silent cost you. I'm sorry for that blindness I carried for years. I'm sorry it took losing everything to see it. The city lights here still don't compare to the way stars looked from your rooftop that summer. We'd count them, make up stories about each one. I don't look at stars here anymore. Honestly, they remind me too much of what's missing. Instead, I look down at busy streets full of people who don't know they're walking past someone who once had everything and let it go. I wonder sometimes if you think of me on quiet nights the way I think of you, or if I've become just a chapter closed completely. I hope wherever these words land they find you gentle and whole, not broken by my leaving you. Deserved someone who stayed, not someone who ran. I hope you found that person if you looked, and if you didn't, I hope you found peace alone, which is sometimes better than the wrong company. This part of the letter isn't sad, just honest, about time, about distance, about choices made young. I was young when I left, too young to know what I was actually walking away from. Now I'm older, wiser in the ways that hurt, knowing exactly what I lost doesn't bring it back, it just makes peace with carrying it forward quietly. That's what I'm learning to do these days, carry it without letting it crush every single morning. Some mornings are harder than others still, even now, but I'm learning gratitude replaces regret if you let it. Grateful I loved you at all, even briefly, grateful for rooftops and stars and your handwriting, grateful this letter exists, even if it stays folded quietly in a drawer, never mailed, never read. Some love just needs to be written down, not sent, just witnessed by the one who felt it. That's enough for tonight. I think that's enough. Private love letter for you. If you are reading this, then thank you for giving these words a place in your heart. I do not know where you are right now or what kind of day you have had, but I hope this letter finds you in a quiet moment where you can simply breathe and feel how deeply you are appreciated. There are so many things I have wanted to tell you that never seem to fit into ordinary conversations. Some feelings are too gentle for quick messages. They deserve patience, honesty, and time. That is why I am writing this private letter just for you. You have become one of the brightest parts of my life, not because life suddenly became perfect, but because your presence reminds me that hope can still exist, even on difficult days. You have a way of making ordinary moments feel meaningful. A simple smile, a kind word, or even your quiet presence can make the world feel lighter. Sometimes I wonder if you truly know how much you matter. I hope one day you will see yourself through my eyes. You would discover someone incredibly strong, beautifully kind, and quietly inspiring. You may notice your imperfections, but I notice your courage. You may remember your mistakes, but I remember your kindness. Life has taught me that real love is not about grand speeches or perfect moments. It is about choosing each other again and again with patience, respect, honesty, and understanding. It is about staying gentle when life becomes difficult and remaining hopeful when tomorrow feels uncertain. If there is one promise I want to make, it is this: I will always try to treat your heart with care. Trust is precious and I never want to take it for granted. I want to celebrate your happiest days and stand beside you through your hardest ones. No matter where our journey leads, I hope you always remember this truth: you are loved and you deserve kindness every single day. Thank you for being part of my story thank you for every smile, every conversation, every moment of hope you have given me until my next letter. Take care of your beautiful heart with all my love. Someone who truly cares. There are nights when the world becomes so quiet that all I can hear are my own thoughts, and almost every one of them somehow finds its way back to you. I wonder if you ever think about me in those quiet moments too. I wonder if my name ever crosses your mind without warning, the same way yours crosses mine. You have taught me something I never expected to learn. Love is not only found in exciting moments or unforgettable memories. Sometimes it is found in patience. Sometimes it is found in waiting. Sometimes it is found in believing that the right words will arrive exactly when they are. Need I hope you never feel like you have to become someone else to deserve love. The person you already are is enough. Your kindness, your honesty, your courage, and even your quiet moments are part of what makes you beautiful. You do not have to be perfect for someone to care deeply about you. Whenever life becomes difficult, I hope you remember that storms never stay forever. The sunrise always returns, even after the longest night. In the same way, I hope joy always finds its way back to your heart. If one day you feel tired, rest. If one day you feel afraid, breathe. If one day you feel alone, remember that someone is wishing for your happiness, even from far away. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I know the kind of person I want to be. I want to be someone who brings peace instead of worry, encouragement instead of doubt, and kindness instead of judgment. If my words can make your day even a little brighter, then this letter has already found its purpose. Thank you for reading these thoughts that have lived quietly inside my heart. They are simple, honest, and written with genuine care. No matter where life takes us, I hope you continue chasing your dreams, protecting your smile, and believing in yourself until the next letter. Take care, stay hopeful, and never forget that your story is still being written, and the best chapters may still be ahead. As I finish this page, I realize there are still countless things I want to tell you. Some feelings are too deep for a single letter, and some memories deserve to be shared slowly, one heartbeat at a time. I hope you always know that your presence has brought light into places inside me that I thought would remain dark forever. You reminded me that even after disappointment, people can still believe again. Even after sadness, hearts can still smile. Even after silence, beautiful conversations can begin. There is something peaceful about knowing that somewhere in this world you exist, whether we are talking, laughing, or simply living our separate days. That thought alone brings comfort to my heart. If life ever places obstacles in front of you, please don't measure yourself by those difficult moments. Measure yourself by how many times you stood back up. Measure yourself by the kindness you showed when it would have been easier to become bitter. Measure yourself by the hope you kept alive when everything around you felt uncertain. I admire your strength more than you probably realize. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who continue smiling while quietly carrying burdens no one else can see. If that has ever been you, I hope you know that your courage has never gone unnoticed. I often imagine a peaceful afternoon where we simply sit together without needing to fill every moment with words. Some of the most meaningful connections are built in comfortable silence, where two hearts understand each other without explanation, no matter what tomorrow brings. I hope you continue believing in beautiful beginnings. Keep protecting your gentle heart. Keep choosing kindness even when the world feels impatient. Keep believing that good things are still making their way toward you. If this letter ever finds you on a difficult day, read it slowly. Let every sentence remind you that you matter, that your life has meaning, and that your future still holds possibilities beyond what you can see today. With sincere affection, always thinking of your happiness. There is one last thing I want to tell you, and maybe it is the most important part of this entire letter. Please never underestimate the difference you make in this world. You may think your kindness is ordinary, but it has the power to change someone's entire day. You may think your smile is small, but it can become someone's reason to keep going. You may think your words are simple, but they can stay in someone's heart for years. You have reminded me that love is not about perfection, it is about choosing compassion when life becomes difficult. It is about staying honest when it would be easier to hide. It is about believing in each other even when the future is uncertain. If our paths continue together, I promise to celebrate your victories as if they were my own. I promise to listen before I speak, to understand before I judge, and to encourage you whenever you begin doubting yourself. If life ever takes us in different directions, I will still be grateful that our paths crossed. Some people enter our lives for a short season but leave behind lessons that last forever. Knowing you has already become one of those gifts as you continue writing your own story. Never be afraid to dream bigger than your fears. There will always be voices telling you what cannot be done. Listen instead to the quiet voice inside your heart that reminds you who you truly are. I hope you wake up each morning believing that today can become something beautiful. I hope you end each evening with gratitude for the little moments that often become the most meaningful memories. If this is the last page you read today, let it leave you with one simple truth: you are enough exactly as you are. You do not need to earn your worth, prove your value, or hide your heart. The right people will appreciate your honesty, respect your boundaries, and celebrate the person you already are. Thank you for allowing these words to become part of your day. I hope they bring you comfort whenever you need it most. Until the next letter, keep your heart open, protect your peace, and never stop believing that the best chapters of your story are still waiting to be written with heartfelt affection always, wishing you happiness, peace, and endless hope as I continue writing this letter. I realize that some feelings never truly reach an ending. Every page reminds me that there is always another memory to share, another hope to express, and another reason to be thankful that our paths crossed. I often wonder what your ordinary days look like. I wonder if you pause to watch the sunrise, or if you smile when you hear your favorite song. I wonder if you notice the small miracles that quietly happen around you every single day. I hope you do, because life has a beautiful way of hiding extraordinary moments inside ordinary ons. If there is one wish I carry for you, it is that you never lose your gentle heart. The world sometimes rewards loud voices, but it is often the quiet hearts that leave the deepest impact. Continue choosing kindness even when it feels unnoticed. Continue choosing honesty even when it feels difficult. Continue choosing hope even when the road ahead seems uncertain. There will be moments when life asks more of you than you think you can give. On those days, please remember that strength is not measured by never falling, it is measured by standing again with grace. Even after disappointment, you have already overcome challenges you once believed were impossible. That same courage is still within you today. Whenever I think about the future, I don't imagine perfection. I imagine peaceful mornings, honest conversations, shared laughter, and quiet evenings filled with gratitude. I imagine a life where respect is never questioned, trust is carefully protected, and kindness is never taken for granted. Those are the moments that truly matter. Thank you for being someone who reminds me that genuine connections still exist. Thank you for showing that patience is powerful, compassion is never wasted, and hope always deserves another chance. So until the next page, take one day at a time, celebrate the little victories, forgive yourself for yesterday's mistakes, believe in tomorrow's possibilities, and whenever you need a reminder that someone wishes the very best for you, come back to these words no matter where life leads you. I hope your journey is filled with peace, wisdom, courage,